Hey y'all, welcome back to Cooking with Kai. So today what I'm doing is fajita nachos. With the game coming up and the big Super Bowl coming up this Sunday. This is just a recipe I like to do on football Sundays. So try it out and let me know what you think. So first what you want to do is you want to start off by washing off your chicken and drying it off really good. Next, what you want to do is go ahead and season up your chicken. On this one, I use cumin, oregano, chili powder, typical fajita seasonings on this one. I want some smoked paprika, a little salt and pepper on this one. These don't have to be spicy. The spice is going to come from the peppers, but you can see I like to turn my heat up on everything, as you can see. So what I have here is poblanos. I also have a Fresno chili pepper, and I have jalapenos, which I did not roast this time. I simply chopped up all the vegetables, as you can see that I'm doing here. When you're making these nachos, what you want to do is chop your peppers up fine. You can make them chunky as you like, but the fajita nachos, you want everything to be kind of shaved and fine because you're going to be layering these. Right here, this is my chili pepper that I'm using here, and I had to get my gloves out because you don't want to mess with jalapenos or these type of Fresno chili peppers because they're very hot, and if you just wipe your eye, it'll make for a very, very, very miserable night. So I'm chopping up my Fresno chili peppers and also my jalapeno real fine here, and I'm gonna get those chopped up and just kind of set them to the side. I usually kind of separate those peppers because I'll just layer all the regular peppers with my hands, but then I'll pull my gloves back out just to layer the heat peppers because I am famous for just touching my eyes for some reason. And so also I'm chopping up a red or purple onion, whatever you like to call it, and you just want to chop that up really fine. I like to have mine layered nice thin slices. They don't have to be super thin. And as you can see, I do a lot of things by hand. Some people do have, vegetable choppers, but I'm old fashioned. I like to do it by hand. And so once you go ahead and get your peppers chopped up, the next thing you want to do is go ahead and put a little oil in your pan there. I use olive oil. You can use regular vegetable oil with this if you would like. I typically use olive oil with a lot of things unless certain recipes do require vegetable oil. And then I'm going in with my garlic. What I'm getting ready to do here is I'm actually just getting ready to prepare the chicken. I've already chopped up the vegetables and put those to the side. And now what I'm going to do is give this chicken a light cook. Now, typically when I cook chicken, I always like to cook my chicken well done. But in this case, I'm going to make it just under well done because we're still going to be throwing these into the oven afterwards. So you don't want to overcook your chicken. You never want to overcook it. But for me, I never want to undercook it. So I've heard some people eat it with a little pink. I do not. All of my chicken has to be completely white. Not dry, but completely white. And so the way you make it not dry is you don't want to cook it all the way. What I've done here is just threw some extra garlic in the pan just to give it some more flavor. I love flavor. I love garlic. Some might look at this pan and say that is way too much garlic, but trust me, for me, it works. And so you just want to go ahead and just sear up your meat just like this. Give them a couple of flips in the pan. And then, once they get about done this way right here, it's about time to pull them on off right now. And once you pull them off, you're going to just go ahead and shave them down just like with the vegetables. You want to shave these down so that they're semi like a fajita, like, fajita meat. I've gotten fajitas where the meat's kind of thick. These ones, I want the meat kind of thinly shaved. So you see I'm cutting these on a slant right here. And just go ahead and slant those on up and set them to the side. Because now that we've done that, the only next thing you want to do after this is get your cheese ready. So you may look at this and say, oh, here goes another old-fashioned move. And yes, it is. I like to use block cheese on my melty things. So you want to cut up some cheese. You can use shredded for this recipe as well. And then my old cast iron pan. I've had these cast iron pans for some while, and I do oil them up frequently. This one, you know, I've had it for a long time, and it's really actually not the best pan, but I keep my cast iron pans because I use them for everything. I have different size cast iron pans. And so what I'm doing is I'm just basically just throwing a little more olive oil in this pan, and then I'm layering the Tostitos or Dorito or whatever you want to call them, nacho chips, tortilla chips. Sorry, tortilla chips. So you want to layer your tortilla chips into the pan. Layer them how you feel. I tend to try to layer them because I know that the end game for this whole move is to have the chips, the peppers, the meat, the cheese all stuck together on a chip. Now, when I originally saw this recipe years and years ago, it was actually made in a pan, like a 13 by 9 pan. I customized this. I like it in my cast iron pan. This recipe here is pretty much a recipe for one because I'm not even using a large cast iron pan. I'm just using a medium sized cast iron pan, and I'll usually eat this over maybe 2 days. I'll heat it up again the next day. So here what I'm doing is I'm actually layering the fajita chicken first. I have made this recipe with chicken and steak, but this particular time I'm just using chicken. And they taste great both ways. You can do just beef, just chicken. You can use both if you want to get fancy. If I'm doing it for a big party, I'm pretty much gonna use both and make a big pan of it. So then once you put your chicken on there, go ahead and just layer your onions, and then you're gonna layer your peppers. And you can do this in any order that you like. This is just my order that I like to layer them, but this is a fun dish. I encourage you to go out here and try to make this, especially with the game coming up this weekend. I mean, this is like one of the best game appetizers that you can have on deck. So just go ahead and layer your peppers there. I'm layering my poblanos. I have red bells. I have yellow bells. And now what I'm doing is, you see, I got my gloves back out and I'm layering on my jalapenos and also my Fresno chili peppers. Once you get those layered, after you come over there, you want to just come on with your cheese. Definitely you can use shredded cheese for this. I'm just extra with mine, so that's why you see these shaved pieces of cheese. I also throw a little bit, like a dash of shredded on there. And when I take it out, you may even be able to see the difference in the melt. The shredded just doesn't melt like I like. So once you've layered one layer, just go ahead and top it up, fill it up to the top with the next layer, and put it in the oven. You're going to put these in the oven for at about 350 and for just about 15-17 minutes, and voila, game day nachos. You cannot beat this recipe. Give this a try. You can throw some green onions on top. You can put some salsa to the side. If you make it with a lot of spice in it, you do not need salsa. Like, I promise you, you won't need anything for this recipe. So just give this recipe a try and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.